Welcome to the short version of Jim and Rob Overanalyze Movies. Here, what you'll find is the spoiler-free basics of the movie Jim and I examined during our weekly live stream. That would be this one. And our first thoughts about the movie and whether or not we thought it was worth your time. Enjoy. Recorded in the socially distant studios of the Rob Christensen Radio Network, it's Jim and Rob Overanalyze the Movies, the short version. Anyway, folks, yes, where were we? Right, the Tomorrow War. That is the movie we are looking at tonight. Let's get into it. Now, from IMDb, here's the log line. A family man is drafted to fight in a future war where the fate of humanity relies on his ability to confront the past. Oh, dear Lord. Not the worst log line I've read, but certainly not the best either. Okay. This sci-fi war flick, directed by Chris McKay, written by Zach Dean, starring Chris Pratt and Yvonne Strahovski. It also stars J.K. Simmons, Betty Gilpin, Sam Richardson, Edwin Hodge, Jasmine Mathews, and introduces Ryan Kiera Armstrong. Okay, now for the ideological ingredients. Would this earn a reframe stamp? No, it would not. Was it union made? Yes, it was. Did it pass the Bechdel test? I don't believe so. Although I've been corrected before, I might be corrected again. And then certainly, last but not least, is the Tomorrow War class conscious in any way, shape, or form? No, I would say it's actually the reverse. But I'll get into that more during the meaning portion of it. So, yeah, that's a big fat no. I think that's about it for that. Let's get back into the quick review. Jim, let's get Jim back on the screen. Jim, why don't you give us your quick review?
Sure, yeah. Let me just, I wrote down a few thoughts just to keep them straight and to sort of keep me on track. This was my favorite video game that I watched somebody else play all weekend. There's side quests, color-coded challenges, get those blue ampules, watch out for the red smoke, weird obstacles.
We're going through the engine room now.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Also, weird tonal shifts, strange politics. Science is good, right? Right? But international governmental bodies are bad. Can we all agree? And which there was actually a scene when everyone denounced the UN for a brief second. And kind of a strange, spotty special effects. Like some were good and some were not so good. But yeah, kind of a like Army of the Dead. Bit of a summer gong show, clown fire, sort of a mishmash. But ultimately, I was sort of worried for the first 10 minutes, but ultimately I kind of enjoyed it. Just shutting off my brain. It's like reading a good dime store comic book, like you used to, like Weird War or something like that that you used to get back in the day. But yeah, I mean, it was enjoyable enough. How about you? What did you think of it?
Jim, this is the movie. This is the Elon Musk of movies. It talks fast, and as long as it keeps things going and keeps kind of showing you stuff and promising you more, you never stop long enough to kind of go, wait, does that actually make sense? And I think that's the perfect capture of this flick, Jim. It pulls from a ton of movies. It at least doesn't make the mistake that Woman in the Window did, which actually literally refer to them, but I thought of a ton of great science fiction films that this is referencing. And I also, what really kind of shocked me, and probably one of the biggest stumbling blocks for me, was and we'll get into the details later, but time travel movies have to establish certain strict rules, and they got to make it clear, and they got to answer certain questions. And this one never did, except that I think that was kind of a weird secret strength, because the second it would start to answer questions, you would start to ask more, and it would not benefit from that. Explanations would not be this film's strong point.
Nope.
It had a solid 20 minutes at the start of the second act, which actually kind of gives you, I like to cut films slack, and that 20 minutes was super solid, even with some of the wonkier stuff. But in the end, I think this was fun enough the first time around. That's where I'll stop on the quick review. Jim, do you think it's worth? Is it worth people's time?
I mean, ultimately, there's better stuff to watch. Again, you're just sort of coming
Always
back to that. I'd say you can probably skip it. I mean, it was, like I said, it was enjoyable. I watched it. I started it at 12:30 last night. Watched it till 3 a.m, and at no time did I feel sleepy. So, for what it's worth.
Holds your attention.
It kept me engaged. I'll give it this. If you're in the mood for a dumb summer movie, it is worth your time. If you're looking for anything deep, not worth your time.
Yeah. I think this is a Sunday afternoon time killer of a flick. You got nothing better. And like you said, Jim, you want to watch something dumb? It does. For a rather long running time of... good grief. Over 2 hours, like 2 hours and almost 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It does hold your attention, surprisingly enough. Yeah, but I do think, and it was something it was a question I had before it started. By the end of it, I was going, yeah, this deserved to be on a streaming service.
Yeah.
I do not feel like I was robbed. I got to admit, though, if I went to the theater, I'd be like, well, I would have had a different feeling on the subject. But yeah, that's kind of my take on it.
It's a good point. Good.
Well, hello again. I guess you enjoyed that, or you're supporting me. Either way, you watched the whole video, which makes me very happy. Anyway, if you wanted to check out the whole episode, you'll find a link to it here. And of course, if you want to continue to support the channel, if you enjoy this kind of nonsense, either or, it doesn't matter to me, please press like and subscribe, and don't hesitate to ring that bell. I think that's about it. Bye-bye.